Call to order our August 10th Beechwood Board of Education meeting. Lori, would you like to do roll call?
Mrs. Berger?
Here?
Dr. Savignano?
Here.
Ms. Stricker?
Here.
Ms. Sullivan?
Here.
Reverend Willis?
Here.
Okay, so welcome everyone. We have a few items on our agenda to get started on. We don't have any recognition of guests. Any public comment, Lori?
No.
Okay. On to our discussion and action agenda. A motion to approve the policy and procedures on stock medications.
I will make a motion to approve the stock medication policy and procedure.
I'll
Second. Again, this just adds more detail based on guidance.
I didn't notice any changes since our last meeting, so no one else made anything other than, okay.
Nope.
Okay. Okay, any other questions on that? Okay, Lori?
Oh, sorry. Mrs. Berger?
Yes.
Dr. Savignano?
Yes.
Ms. Stricker?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Reverend Willis?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. On to our next item, which is the certified evaluation plan. We'll take a motion to approve the certified evaluation plan.
I'll go ahead and make the motion to approve the certified evaluation plan. So, I'm sorry.
I'll second it.
All right. Just so the board is aware, I think this is going to be very difficult with some of the situations that staff and admin are going to face. I have requested from the commissioner to be able to adapt, but currently, unless an executive order comes or unless something comes from KBE, it's a state mandate. As far as a KRS statute, state mandate that we evaluate, and we have to inform within the first 30 days. But I would just like, on record, if the state were to allow a change based on the instructional format that we'll be in, I would like to come back and ease some of the restrictions.
Okay.
It's going to be hard to do
I
some
was
of
going to
the
say, how are we going to?
typical
Right.
evaluations.
Okay. Any other questions?
No.
Mrs. Berger?
Yes.
Dr. Savignano?
Yes.
Ms. Stricker?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Reverend Willis?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. On to item C, the BG1 Phase 6 additions and renovations. I'll take a motion to approve our BG1.
I'll move to approve the BG1 for additions and renovations.
I'll second it.
Okay, Emmett is here if you have any questions. I mean, this is the BG1 for your full all-phase project of classroom renovations, as well as the front of the existing building in some capacity, depending on what bids come in. I mean, is there anything else you can add, Emmett?
Just be advised that, first of all, thanks for allowing us to be here and be part of this project. This is the first step of BG1 in most of your veteran projects. We will probably adjust the BG1 several times due to financial or scope changes. We actually had pretty good vision. We did the district facility plan 4 years ago. It's a crystal ball and it's pretty close. And for instance, for 1 or 2 classrooms off in each area, you will see in upcoming months, we'll probably recommend doing a finding, which will fine tune it. And that's really because the State Department is wanting things detailed a little more granular than they ever have. So that would be our chance to kind of fine tune it. But this gets it rolling. They won't even acknowledge it or ask questions. They really need a BG1 on file for us to get rolling. We can't submit anything for review or anything until then. So I like to get the BG1 down there. The project is active, and then we'll continue to refine the scope and so forth. And like I said, we'll probably go finding, have to bring the DIP back for 1 meeting, make our fine changes, and that'll give us a chance to kind of fine tune the little pieces. I mean, they're getting so specific now. In your DIP, we have special ed, and we have to say if it's an FMD or if it's a motor room. I mean, we never used to have to put that level of detail, and they want us to clarify that. Things like computer room, and now you have like a middle school specialized room. I mean, they want that detail in there, so we're just gonna probably do that and clean it all up.
So for those that couldn't hear, we're going to submit the BG1 for findings and then proceed with bids. And throughout that process, the scope of the work could change. based on the bids that we receive and the pieces of the building that we need to address.
Yes, and every revision has to go to you, as well as schematic design, design development, and working drawings. There's 3 technical approvals of the scope that you give, plus all the paperwork.
Right, so next month, the DFP, and then from there, we'll start the process. And you think that a projected time that we could realistically start looking at bids?
I'd like to start pressure testing the numbers pretty quick,
Okay.
especially the CM and those kind of things. That's one of the advantages of that. So I would say something like that would probably be, this fall. And
Yeah.
I would say, August, that's to be ready sometime after the first of the year. So
Yep, that's what I think after the first of the year, we'll know.
Right.
we are, it might trip to Easter, but I was like, get it done earlier if I can.
Sure.
And we wanna write a full phasing plan, that's what's gonna be kind of difficult with, with everybody, so we can see, when we wanna start, and there's different phases and different options that we've got. The one great thing about the plan we've got is, you're not wasting all the money on the mobile village. Some other districts have had to waste a ton of money on a dozen mobile villages running sewer to them now, water to them now. If we do it what we wanna do, it might take a little longer, but if we had 12 classrooms first, that'll give us the displacement, and kind of build that into the program, so to speak. So that there could be a few $100,000 savings there, when you look at what you could have had to do, not to mention, I don't have stock.
Yeah. Right, right.
So,
All right.
we'll put all that together though, and obviously be back on a monthly basis.
All right, so, I mean, DFP next month, and then we'll update you every month from there on until we're ready to do the final RFP for official bids. Yeah, all right?
So I have one question. On the applicable items, it says new building and it says no. Is that because we're just doing, like, it's considered an addition, or?
Can you tell me exactly?
Right in the front, the first page.
Oh, the first page.
Project type and description.
Yeah, because it is, I mean, you're in an
Like taken
existing.
down, okay,
Yes,
all right,
yeah, so it is seen as an addition with a major renovation.
okay.
Because the scope could, the scope could change, and we're not just going out into the middle of, a field that we've purchased and
And
starting a new
building
construction.
Yeah, okay, that's what I wanted clarification on.
Any other questions?
No.
All right, may the bids be with you.
I hope so.
I mean, that's a really big
We need,
issue for us, so
Yes.
thank you, Emmett, for coming by tonight.
yes, thank you.
Thanks, Emmett.
Okay, any other questions on the BG1? To get it started and get some bids in and see what we can, anybody over here, questions? Nope. Okay, all right,
Mrs. Berger?
yes.
Dr. Salvignano?
Yes.
Ms. Stricker?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Reverend Willis?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. On to our consent agenda. I'll take a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, any questions or anything on that? It's
I mean,
short.
nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah. Anybody have any questions on any of the items? No.
No.
Okay,
Mrs. Berger?
yes.
Dr. Salvignano?
Yes.
Ms. Stricker?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Reverend Willis?
Yes.
Okay, on to our information portion of our meeting, superintendent's report.
Ray, do you have anything to add on the finance report?
No, it's very early in the year, so it's hard to get a trend analysis at this point.
Auditors are here currently,
Correct.
doing the yearly audit. We should have that report. It takes a little while to get it typed up.
Right, they will probably come to the November meeting. It's due in Frankfurt mid-October, so they'll come after that.
And everyone has a form for the audit too, so don't forget to sign
Yes.
that
Yes.
before.
I'm happy with the way we started the school year. I mean, we did have quite a bit of expense associated with trying to reopen. I would have loved to have had the information we received today a little earlier due to that, but I think most of the stuff is still going to be viable. One of the larger expenses was the one-to-one in kindergarten, first and second. That'll be very useful for our students and parents. And the supplies they will hold until we're able to return. And with that being said, the only thing I would like to add in the superintendent's report tonight is the late information today that we received from the governor that requested school be delayed until, in-person school be delayed until September the 28th. You know, I don't envy that decision that he had to make. Obviously, I've been vocal about reentry for many different reasons, but at the same time, once that recommendation's been made and once it's signed by Dr. Stack, I really have no choice but to not only accept that recommendation, but to do our best to do that well. So with that said, I did not have time to put a calendar on, but the flexibility that you gave us last time, and we will start school still on the 24th of August, but it will be virtually in the NTI format. We will still have the 19th, 20th, and 21st for students to come in and get their devices, textbooks, and other materials. The elementary and middle school will start those schedules to try to bring kids in. If it takes longer than 3 days, we'll run it into the next week, even though school has started. Our highest priority will be on, at first, the elementary that the parents can arrange in their schedule, because we know once official school starts, they probably have different things in different places that they are at as far as work. I really have no other thing to add other than I don't envy the decision he had to make, and in discussions, I don't think he envied the fact that 90%-ish of our clientele wanted to return face-to-face. So it was a very difficult position for both entities, but that is the decision that has been made, and so I'm officially informing you that tomorrow morning letters will go out to our parents explaining those details, explaining pickup, explaining all the ways that we'll need students in the building to get them ready to start NTI.
The one-to-one devices that were recently ordered, will they be in time?
It's going to be close. It's
Okay.
going to be close. And if they're not, then we'll back them up until the end as far as pickup.
Okay.
And we've also notified our staff. I mean, they had already been planning for a hybrid model, which was some in person and some remote. So they'll just take that remote planning and move it into full-time virtual. We will also be asking the families that chose virtual to move into NTI. I mean, there's no reason that I see to have a virtual curriculum when the whole school is going to be in a virtual format for that length of time. If and when we're allowed to come back and people still want to maintain virtual, then we will reinstate that curriculum right at a break, so it shouldn't be a major problem. We also had enough that we had 2 teachers partially assigned to oversee that, so we would just revert right back to that plan on September the 28th, if that so happens. However, I don't want to sugarcoat to the board the later we get into the fall, the weather starts to change, and we don't know exactly what that's going to do. So, I mean, I think we have to prepare ourselves that this could be a longer-term issue, right? I mean, we just have to prepare ourselves. We also have to ask some questions about if students are struggling in a virtual format, whether we can have small groups. I mean, he indicated today that that could be an option. So we'll continue to ask clarifying details because we know that not every student has a natural aptitude for online or virtual learning. So we'll ask that the teachers continue to monitor that, continue to watch for social emotional, continue to watch for anything that we can assist with from a school standpoint. I do not envy our kids. I know they were excited about returning. I know they were excited about sports. So, I mean, obviously, it's going to be a little blow for them tonight. And again, I'm not saying that in any direction. The governor obviously had a really hard choice to make and made that accordingly. So, any other questions? SEL, academic support, a full schedule from each one of the buildings as far as responsibilities from the students. So I feel like that the plan was in place because we did have that as one of our 4 models. So we'll just go ahead and push that into play immediately. And, you know, we still have a little time to plan before we officially kick open
Do we
the
know
virtual doors.
how that will look for them? Is it gonna be just like Google Classroom with them, or like, how's it gonna be?
I can
Google
always
Meet?
speak to my class. I mean, I'll do a Google Meets at the time that we meet and on most days, and have instruction very similar to the way they would be in the classroom. But that's a high school. Elementary, obviously, are going to have some more creativity and flexibility because little kids can't sit, you know, for that length of time. So I know both buildings had already been working on that. I know that our staff will jump into that accordingly, and we'll do the best that we can possibly do. I honestly have no fear that our teachers won't step up. They have the experience from last spring. We know the areas that need to be improved, and all we can do is just ask for feedback from parents on both academic concerns, academic pressure concerns, social emotional concerns, or anything else we can do to help from the school building.
Anybody have any questions or? Okay, let's go on to our next item, the making the agenda part of the official board minutes.
I will make the motion to make the agenda part of the official board minutes.
I'll second.
All right, Ms. Berger?
Yes.
Dr. Savignano?
Yes.
Ms. Stricker?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Reverend Willis?
Yes.
Okay, any other new business? Anybody have anything? No?
No.
Nothing? I know, it's kind of a, yeah, we're all just trying to get used to, you know, we just made this decision, what, 2 weeks ago?
Yes, ma'am.
And I know, it's kind of, we're all still processing, I think. A lot of work went into that plan by everyone, and, yeah, but we'll do our best, and everybody will come to the table and give their best, and I'm sure our kids will too.
We'll
And they'll
make it
follow
work.
our lead and make it work, so. Anybody else have anything to add?
And the cafeteria will still be providing food for those who need it.
We will go back to putting requests out for food and start that on the first day of school.
Great.
Question? Okay,
I'll also update you as soon as I know the KHSAA Board of Controls is slated to meet this week. I'll update you on that outcome as well.
okay. And there will be correspondence going home to elementary and high school tomorrow?
Yes, we'll get together and put something out tomorrow.
Okay. Anyone else have anything? Okay. Take a motion to adjourn?
I will make the motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Yes.
Ms. Berger?
Yes.
Dr. Savignano?
Yes.
Ms. Stricker?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Reverend Willis?
Yes.
That was a little shorter
Okay.
than last